What's up, you guys? Welcome to my xdawgg 10 how to dime every pass tutorial. This tutorial is pretty in-depth of how I throw every pass, but it's just how I think of it, how I throw everything. So, and not to toot my own horn or anything, but it is a pretty complex tutorial, so you probably won't be able to learn everything in one sitting. Unless you're just like the best person at retaining information ever, you're probably going to have to watch and learn it in chunks, which I put in the timestamps below. Learning them in chronological order would be best, probably. But that's up to you. If you want to learn crossbody dimes before normal ones, be my guest. But anyways, that's enough talking. Let's just get into the dime tutorial, unless you already skipped this. Alright, so let's just start off with the normal powers. Alright, so for the front of the end zone, you're going to want to throw 95 power and wait till your receiver gets to like about the 20. Maybe a little after. As you see, he doesn't really need to dive for that because the DB's giving a big burn, but yeah. Next, from the 10-yard line, you're going to want to do the same throw, except just throw 90 power. So wait a little bit past the 20, and that's just a normal dive. From the 20, pretty much the same thing. And throw 85 power. Except just wait maybe a little bit longer. Alright, so all those throws were like pretty much at the 20 you threw them, maybe a little bit after. From the 30 you throw 85 power and wait till they get to like about the 17, like between the 20 and the 15. Then from the 40 it's 75 power and you wait till they get to about the 15. Okay, that was a little bit low. I think I threw it the wrong time. From the 50 you throw like pretty much at the 15, like 75 power. You see, that's a little bit of an angled mag. I don't think it actually was. Alright, from the back of the end zone, it's a little bit weird because they're using the same power from the front of the end zone. But you're going to want to throw when your receiver's about at the 25. I know it seems weird, but it's just not the same, like,
let's go,
formula. Okay, so here I am in Google Slides to recap it better because I was watching a video and I'm not really following anything I'm saying, just a better visual example. So, starting at 95 power, from the front of the end zone, every 10-yard line you get closer to the end zone, you move the power down by 5, as I said in the video. So as you get 10 yards closer, you move the power down by 5. Alright, we got that. Throw when the wide receiver is at the 20-yard line, from 85 to 95 power. But for 85, like maybe like 1 or 2 yards past the 20. Or what I like to do, I like to stand at the 18 and then throw it at the 20. As your position gets closer to the end zone by 10 yards, like I was saying up here, wait for the wide receiver to get closer to the end zone a couple yards at a time. 80 power is wide receiver at the 17 to 18 yard line. 75 is 15 to 16. 70 is the 13 to 14. And also, I forgot to mention this, you can throw 70 power at the 15 to 17, like here, if you just aim it a little bit lower, which is normally what I do. Alright, now we get into crossbodies, because I'll do low power dimes later. Crossbodies are a little bit weird. You have to get the timing perfect. From the front of the end zone, you're going to want to throw at a little bit past the 35 at 95 power, about like the 34. To be a dime, it has to be there. Alright, from the back of the end zone, crossbody.
Yeah, I've never seen you throw these before, so you always go to where your receiver is.
Alright, you're going to want to throw it like about at the 40. Yeah, okay, there we go. You throw when your receiver's at like the 40. Alright, so from the 10 crossbody, you're still throwing 95 power, but this time it's like a little bit before the 20. Let's see, wait. And that's a dime. When I'm on the same side as the receiver, normally I have to wait a little bit longer for them to pass the 20 as I get closer, but for crossbodies it's the opposite. Like I have to throw a little bit before the 20, the closer I get. I just 95 a lot of crossbodies, so if this is a little bit vague, it's because I just don't throw them that much. But for 90 power, you throw a little bit past the 25 on those, or like around like the 22 or 23. Alright, now from the 30-yard line, you throw like about the same spot as the other one, except just a little bit earlier. Oh, he's lagging back. Here it starts to get a little bit wonky. You have to start aiming more towards like the corner, and that time you throw at like the 26. This is going to be a little bit hard to remember Just know normally you throw about at the 25 and it won't be a total burger. All right, now here's where I just wouldn't cross body it, but I'll still do it for the video. 75 power, it's just weird. It's like you just kind of have to feel around for it. That was kind of an angle pass. I just don't throw these. I really only cross body it from the front of the end zone, the 10 and the 20. Otherwise I just 95 it like this. If I'm cross body, I'll just aim it up. And 95s are just completely, you have to feel for them. All right, back at Google Slides. So it's like the same throw, except you throw a little earlier and you add 5 power to what you did before. So like instead of 80 power from the 30, it's 85 power. And now instead of throwing it later as you get closer to the end zone, you throw it earlier. Now the powers, back of the end zone is 95 power from the 40. Front of the end zone is 95 power from the 33 to the 34. 10-yard line is also 95 power, but 20 to 21-yard line. 20-yard line is 90 power from the 22 to 23. 30-yard line, 85 from the 24 to 25. 40-yard line is 80 power from the 26 to 27. Most of the time, I just use 95, like I used in the video. All right, now we take what we learned and we apply it not throwing to the end zone every time. So basically, the throw that I like to base this all around is 80 power a little bit past the 50. So as you see, that's pretty much a dime when I throw 80 power a little bit past the 50. So if we throw 75 power a little bit past the 40, that's a dime. But you just have to remember the powers we've already used. Remember how to aim them like 5 yards earlier or like around the same time. And then just base it around the 50, how high or lower you should go. So like, let's say I'm at the 20. If I want to throw it when my receiver's at the 50, then I throw 70 power, because that's a little bit forward, wait 5 extra yards, and throw 70. I think I'm saying all this right. If you didn't pick up on what I just did, I just threw 70 power when my receiver got to the 50, because that's 10 power below 80, and I was 20 yards in front of the goal line. And then I waited the 5 extra yards, because you have to for 70 power. Another thing you can do is stand 5 yards before where you'd normally throw it, and keep the same power, and then just throw 5 yards before you normally would for your receiver. So for here, you could throw from the 5, 90 power when your receiver gets to the 25, and it's still basically the same throw, or the 85 when you're standing at the 15, again receiver at the 25, he missed it, but it's fine. And standing at the 25, throw when your receiver's at the 25, 80 power, again, and then standing at the 35 when your receiver's at like the 30, but I threw it wrong. I'm just pointing this out so it doesn't seem so one-dimensional throwing it like I do, but you probably could have figured this out. One thing I forgot to mention is you can throw 70 power once your receiver's name starts to disappear. I know it sounds weird, but here's some examples of that. I really recommend throwing 70s because then you don't have to calculate like how many yards they are away if you're like under pressure. Alright, recap of what I just said. When you're in the end zone, base your throw from, you have to throw 80 power when your wide receiver's a little bit past the 50 when you're in the end zone. So if you're throwing 85, you need to wait for your receiver to get to the 40 if you're standing at the end zone, and etc. Also, I thought it would be good to point this out. Upping or lowering the power by 5 is pretty much equivalent to adding or subtracting 10 yards from the throw. This is how far powers go, because I realized I forgot to mention this until now, and it's probably pretty helpful. 95 power when your receiver's 80 yards away from you. 90 power when the wide receiver's 70 yards away. 85 when he's 60. 80 when he's a little over 50. 75 when he's 45. And you can lob it 70 power when your wide receiver's name starts to disappear. If you're going to remember anything from this slide, remember this one. And you can throw 5 yards behind a normal throw, and then just throw 5 yards earlier if you're really pressured. But normally I just run forward 5 yards or back 5 yards and throw it normally. Alright, lower powers are weird because you have to aim them or just stand differently. So sometimes I'll throw 65 power standing from the 45 when my receiver's at the 15. And it's a little bit low. But you know, if it's 60, throw it around the 15. I don't quite aim it as high. And yeah. So normally I just throw 65 from the 45, 60 from the 35, and like 55 from the 25. But honestly, I just feel around for them. Like here, it's really close. I just throw 55, and that's out of bounds. Here's some clips of some low power dimes in games. As you see, I mostly threw it when my receivers were wide open. So let's say it's crossbody and just pretend there's a rusher pressuring me. So normally I'd throw 85 power there, but I have to lower the power by 10. Let's say, you know, you're pressured, pretend there's a ghost rusher rushing me. I'm just kind of mixing, and I throw 85 power from the 30 standing at the 10. And okay, that might have been an angle pass, I don't even know. Well, let's say you're trapped here, back of the end zone, so you just have to throw it 90 power, which is a little bit earlier.
Oh, I was late. Okay.
Here's a clip of me doing this in game because I was pressured. As you see, I threw 85 power, which is 10 lower than I normally would, and I threw at the 40, which is 20 yards earlier. So I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm not very good at talking, like I said, so sorry if there's stuff you didn't understand. But anyways, please subscribe if this helped you, and bye. Here's how to... That's how I throw shorts, because it's more fun.